Good morning, it's a beautiful day here in Worcestershire Shire, and today I've got a visitor. Look, he drives one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Lee the Mapmaster for a drive in a car that is cheaper than a full set of tyres on his Taycan. Let's go. Here he is, look, found him.
I like with a beard.
With a beard, yeah.
With a beard, grey.
Yeah, you no longer look like a, what was it that they used to say?
It was
something with a Brillo pad on your head.
Yeah, that was it, yeah. With the guy at the Muppets, can't remember his name.
Guy at the Muppets.
Yeah, growing the hair now, we'd have it long and have the beard. And
with a Brillo pad on.
I now get called Santa or something,
right.
You know.
Let me turn my blowers off and work out how to do that, because otherwise that'll be on the camera.
Look at the wood in here.
I know, it's nice, isn't it?
Nice wood. Oh, look at this.
There you go. Would you like to have
a
play with my phone? Just unplug you there. I don't think it works.
Is this one of them phones where they don't track you?
Yes. Yeah, an old-fashioned phone, and in the old days as well.
Hello? Yes, get the tea on, love. I'll be back home soon, and get that washing up done as well. And while you're at it, do my ironing. That was
the old days, wasn't it?
The old days,
yeah.
Wasn't it? Oh yeah, and hoover up as well. Yeah, that's it. And also get yourself ready for bed. Enough there.
But the thing is, in the old days, if I was driving along in my 7 Series,
you'd be able to do that.
I'd be able to do that. I could talk to you, and the phone would work.
Yeah.
Because in the old days, your phone network, your phone just worked.
It did.
We could have a conversation between cars.
Yeah.
You know, driving between, I don't know, 2 major cities in the UK.
Yeah.
Without the call drop.
Do you know what?
It works.
It does work.
Look at that.
Yeah. Do you know what though? You can't get Geoff buys cars on there.
No,
good.
We wouldn't be able to WhatsApp and do all the things that we normally do. But right, I'll take you out and I just want you to basically review my 7 Series as we go.
Okay.
Because, as I said, your car is near as damn it the same price as what, 75 of these?
Yes.
Which is yeah, interesting that, you know, on the Geoff Buys Cars channel I advocate for cheap cars instead of buying new. And we've got the sunroof obviously as well.
Sunroof.
Full leather, automatic gearbox. Nice. I've got a tape player, which is nice.
Nice little tape player there.
Nice little tape player.
Timer. Yeah. Nice wood.
And it makes a nice noise as well. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it don't half make a nice noise.
What litre?
2.8.
2.8 litre.
2.8 straight 6. One of BMW's finest engines.
You see, in this though, I find when it first came out, this car, right, I would be most comfortable in the back.
Yes, well, it's that sort of car.
Yeah.
It is. It's the kind of vehicle where you buy this to be driven,
yeah,
not to drive itself. But this was also the first BMW that James Bond used. So it was this shaped car in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. You know, the 7 Series where he's got the remote control in the back and he's got the guns that pop out the front.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the BMW 750. So similar shape to this, but a slightly different colour with the bigger wheels. But I think I was at quite an impressionable age when that movie came out, and I've always wanted a 7 Series like this. Also, the Transporter films, you know, Jason Statham.
Yeah, yeah.
In the first one, I moved to Audi for the later films, but he had a 7 Series in those movies.
Well, Jason Statham, little information for you here.
Jason Statham, little information.
A little bit of information for you here. Came from Shirebrook, which is the next town to where I was born.
You could have been Jason Statham and not the Mapmaster.
Well, his cousin still lives there.
Really?
Yes.
That's a claim to fame.
And he's on my Facebook.
Imagine Jason Statham doing fish and chip reviews and you being like in the Transporter.
He did a review, I believe, for some chocolate bars. Jason Statham did it in the commercials in the 1980s, I believe. Let us know which commercials he did. Do you know in that comment section?
I like
what commercial did Jason Statham do?
I like really geeky little bits of information about nothing like that. Like,
yeah.
Nobody needs to know that, but you can guarantee there'll be someone in the comments that can remember it.
Yeah. You see, he has a London accent. We've gone from cars here to Jason Statham, but now we know he was from Derbyshire. Shirebrook's in Derbyshire, next to Nottinghamshire.
Oh, see, I just presumed he was from London.
He's from Derbyshire, from Shirebrook. And originally, he didn't admit it. It was put on Wikipedia, I don't know whether he put it, that he was born in London. He wasn't, he was born in Shirebrook.
Wow, there we go. I hope we've all learnt something today.
Yeah, back to the car.
Back to the car. Well, there's not a lot to say, it just works. That's the thing. I stop at a petrol station, I fill it up,
Yeah.
I drive.
How long does it take you to wait for coffee or anything? Or
I don't bother waiting for coffee because it doesn't take long enough, you see. I mean, when you have a petrol car, you're in the petrol station for 3-4 minutes. I mean, there's no time to stand around and order coffee and have a Greggs and talk to everybody at the charging station and moan about the car and review your sandwich. I haven't got time for that. I'm an important man with my 7 Series. I fill up in 3 or 4 minutes and I'm on my way again. You should try it.
Well, you know, I mean, I'm going to be driving to East Bergholt today, Ipswich. Don't know where that is.
I have no idea where Ipswich is.
And it's about a 200-mile journey, I reckon. And it said it's going to take me about 3 hours. But realistically, it's not, because I've got to wait about 40 minutes for my car to charge. And then I need to charge again when I get there, because tomorrow I'm then driving to Kingston upon Thames from there. So I then need to get from there, and so I need to charge twice.
So you've got to think about this now, haven't you? It's not like in this car where what I would do is I'd just start the journey and I'd know that everything's going to be fine. You've got to plan ahead, plan your journey and always be charging. So where do you think you'll stop for your first charge from Worcestershire Shire to Ipswich?
Well, I've only got about 90 miles of range at the moment.
Right.
So, gonna have to charge, because I don't want to let... It's a beautiful mountain. Are they mountains?
That's the Malvern Hills, or as I like to call them, the Worcestershire Alps.
Right, it's very nice. I've been in the Lake District.
It is actually, without the lakes.
Without the lakes, yes. Anyway, where was I? So
you were telling me that you were going to charge
earlier on.
90 miles.
And the major problem is, where I'm going in East Bergholt, right? That's where Constable did the haywaying, beautiful countryside. I've been there before and almost run out of battery because there's hardly any chargers, and it's known for being a charging desert.
Excellent. So your first charge at 90 miles, and then you're going to need to charge again.
So I need to charge somewhere around here, probably about 20 miles out of here.
Yeah.
So that 3-hour journey will turn into about a 5.5 to 6 hour journey.
That's just painful, that is. I'm driving down on Friday. I'm going down to Tunbridge Wells to see another YouTuber, actually. And what I'll probably do is I'll fill up the night before, on Thursday night, full tank.
Yeah.
And then I won't have to fill up again until probably the weekend, because that way I can just get on with my day, which is getting down to Tunbridge Wells and seeing Richard and having coffee down there, and I don't need to worry about range or charging or whether I need fuel. It's just done, full tank, and there's no concern. But the funny thing is as well, maybe we can actually talk about this when you've done your trip and I've done mine. I wonder if this car's cheaper to run than yours. So what we can do is we can actually do a Geoff and MacMaster challenge without actually being together. Because if you log how many miles you do and what it costs you, and I log how many miles I do and what it costs me, I think we'll come out with this car being cheaper to run.
Possibly.
Because you're all on public charging, aren't you?
Well, 200 miles on public charging on Instavolt, you're talking 80 quid for 200 miles.
See, I think that is at least 350 miles in this car. So it's going to be very interesting to see. So we'll circle back to this next week when we both got the figures.
Yeah.
I don't know how you stomach all that public charging nonsense. I really don't.
But if you've got the new Porsche Taycan, right, with a range of 370 miles and it charges in 10 to 15 minutes fully,
that's quite a significant difference, isn't it?
It is. And I wonder who's got a new Porsche Taycan.
Who's got a new Porsche Taycan?
Well, you know, I wonder if anybody, do you know anybody that's got one on order or what?
No, I don't.
I'm going to say my Taycan is faster at accelerating.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is a refined car. This isn't really a carver. If I was doing that, you'd have to have the 4-litre V8 or indeed the V12. But you can't buy those for 1,500 quid. This is a £1,500 car.
My Taycan's faster at accelerating, but it has to stop 3 times to get before you get there.
Well, this is the thing, and although your car's faster to accelerate, you would have lost so much range. And I just feel like we keep going back to the same thing, don't we? The Taycan is a glorious looking car, and if they just fitted a petrol engine, they would solve all of their problems, because it is, we've said this so many times, it's the best looking new car that you can buy.
It is. Now, question.
Electric
cars. Are we going to end up with electric cars, and is 2035 going to happen?
I think the public is starting to wake up to the fact that the quest to net zero is futile. However, there's been some videos that have surfaced this week, which I need to document on my YouTube, that Ed Miliband has got some secret plans. Not only does he want to move people away from petrol and diesel, apparently, I don't know if you know this, he wants to decrease the size of fuel tanks down to 10 or 5 litres. So my Volvo, the one I keep going back to, has a 65 litre fuel tank,
Right.
which gives a range of 800 miles. And I keep saying that all of this is just quite simply about stopping people from going places.
Yeah.
And if your fuel tank goes down to 5 litres, well, that gives you a range of what, 50 miles?
So you're
at
going to
best.
be stopping us, probably more than an electric car.
Which says to me that the goal was never about saving the planet and always about restricting our ability to move around.
But what would be the point in that anyway if they're not going to make petrol cars after 2035?
Well, the manufacturers are starting to kick back now. And I think it's important that the automotive industry basically wakes up and says, look, if you guys don't sort this out, we're going to be destroyed. It's going to destroy the car industry, and that's a huge concern. But it's taken a long time for people to wake up and see what's going on.
Ed Miliband, I have my
An electric car and a man with a stick. Oh no, it's not electric.
Is it not?
We're all right. He's got a good hat though, hasn't he?
Man with a stick, I like him.
Cracking hat, that is.
Looks like me.
Back to a man without a stick with a Brillo pad on his head. No, you're changing your hairstyle, aren't
Changed
you?
my hairstyle, yeah.
He got so sick of you all saying he had a Brillo pad on
No,
his
I
head.
just so like Santa Claus with a grey beard. and I've had this one. What have you got a grey beard, but your hair's not grey? You use just for men. No, I don't. I'd love to have grey hair because it's silver fox, isn't it?
Yeah.
I love grey hair.
Well, men get more attractive as they get older. That's
They
the thing.
do, yeah.
I mean, not to me personally. I know you all think that we're not. It's quite funny how people, mostly in your comments, like to make comments about us and sausage.
There is a comment about me and you that I could read, but I don't know whether you'd be able to put it.
This is a family channel.
It is, yes. Ed Miliband, by the way, talking of family channels, I can't abide Ed Miliband, right?
Yeah.
To me, he looks like the kind of guy who... Do you remember Little Britain?
Yes.
Where they went, Bitty, Bitty. He looks like the kind of guy who still breastfeeds from his mother.
You're right. And do you know what? I was thinking about this morning when I was reading this Ed Miliband stuff. And I've actually begun to feel sorry for him. Because if you think about it, if Ed Miliband didn't have the job that he had, who on earth is going to employ him to do anything? He's completely unemployable.
He's useless.
Which is why he's stuck doing what he's doing, because he cannot go and do anything else. He can't go and work in the private sector because nobody would have him. So the only place he can work is in government. And the only way he can get noticed is by coming up with more and more weird schemes to try and make himself stay relevant. So maybe we should just feel sorry for him for being such a loser.
He is a loser. And do you know what? He doesn't talk to his brother anymore. I actually thought, I don't know, you may disagree with this and your viewers may disagree. And I'm not really political, I'm not Labour or Conservative or any of them, I don't care. They're all
the same.
They're all the same. But when Blair went out, it was a bit of a war between David Miliband and Ed Miliband. And I said David Miliband should be the next leader. But no, they gave it to Ed Miliband, the one who still breastfeeds from his mother, rather than the grown-up one.
Yeah, David had a bit more about him, didn't he? He had a bit more spark, like he was more there.
Yeah, he's gone to New York now and he's doing something else.
He'll be working in business like they all do.
Yeah,
they all have a job lined up for them beforehand.
What do we do after YouTube?
After YouTube?
Yeah, what do we do? I mean, you could do cars and stuff.
I could do car stuff. I can go back to writing. I was always a marketing consultant, so I'm good at helping people work out how to present themselves better. So I used to do a lot with companies in the early days of Facebook, where I'd just show them how to look good on Facebook. I'd optimize the logo, I'd do the cover photo for them and all that sort of stuff. So I'm not so worried about that. I enjoy YouTube very much. It gets frustrating. If it finished tomorrow,
because nothing lasts forever. I mean, Facebook is on its way out, I think.
I think Facebook's on its way out, and I've been having lots of conversations with people about almost the death of the internet. Because if you noticed as well, if you Google something these days, you have to go to page 2 to find your actual results.
Can I just say, right, I don't want to sound old-fashioned here, right? At my house in the countryside, right, I was looking for a tree surgeon.
Oh yeah.
To chop my trees down in my garden. And I looked online on Google.
Yeah.
And I've got all these ones. I went through them. I rung the couple at the top and I said, oh yeah, tree surgeon. You know, there was like, I said, where are you based? And like, well, we're based in London, but we contract. And I'm like, hang on a minute, no, you're all right. I want a local. Tried about 2 or 3 others, all the same. It was a central database and all advertising. So none of them was local. So I picked up this little magazine that was pushed through my door, you know, newsletter kind of thing. On the front, tree surgeon, little advert that I used to design when I was a designer.
Yeah.
Rang them, got a great job, a fantastic price. They came the next day and cut my trees down. And I thought, without the internet.
Brilliant. So it's almost like doing stuff the old-fashioned way is the better way of doing it.
Yeah.
You got a better service. It was easier to find the service, and you kept the money locally as well.
Correct. And it's a little bit like where we're going with cars, because we've been pushed into that electric car kind of thing.
Yeah.
When nobody really asked for it, nobody needed it.
No, nobody wanted it. And now we're all being forced to go down one single direction that doesn't work for everybody.
Yeah, and I can tell you, I said this on my channel the other day, the only green agenda that the government and the people have in mind is this green.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. It's about money and it's about control as we fly up this long hill. And I think as well, as people start to move towards the old-fashioned way of doing things, you know, people are going for dumb phones instead of smartphones. And we are seeing a movement of people that are going, do you know what, I'm not going to buy that new car.
Yeah. But
I remember those Volvos from when I was younger. They were great. They lasted forever. I'll go find one of those. And I get more and more emails from people saying, Jeff, which one shall I buy? I've had X and X car. I've been paying the lease for X amount of years. And now I just want to go back to something simple, that's reliable and easy to repair, and that I actually can afford and own. So maybe there'll be a movement of like an old-fashioned movement of us all looking to the past.
Correct. And I'll tell you what else as well. I went to look at a car for my girlfriend the other day, right? And I went to look on screen for it. I'm like, where's the price? And they're all QR codes now.
Really?
Yeah, none of them put the price on and I asked the gentleman he says, oh, Mike Master, who watched this, where's the price? I said, none of the motor dealers put a price on the screen. It's QR code.
See the quality of this road, by the way.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Watch your tyres going back.
He said none of them put it on now because the price has changed daily, he said, on the cars. So it's all a QR code. I said, well, what if you haven't got a phone? He went, well, everyone's got a phone now. I mean, where are we going? Go into a motor dealer, look at the price on the screen.
In the old days, you'd go to the dealer, you'd look at the price on the screen and you'd pay for the car. And today, it's you look at the price on the screen. There's an ugly one, wasn't it? That was one of them new BMWs we were discussing.
It's awful.
Terrible. So you look at the price on the screen and then you sit down and then they say, oh, would you like to add a ceramic coating? Would you like a warranty? We're only going to sell it if you want finance. And I've had people say to me, when you go to a car dealer and offer to pay with cash, not necessarily notes, but, you know, bank transfer for the full amount, you get turned away because they don't want that, because they don't make any money on you just buying the car. Where they're going to make the money is in the extended warranty and in the gap insurance and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, everything, I don't know, just people do seem to be harking back to the older way of doing things as a better way of doing things.
Can I just get in? I'm gonna. You can.
We sound like two old men moaning, don't we?
I know. I'm not going to mention the garage, right? But I'm going to mention what happened, right? So you know, my girlfriend bought a car from Ann Motor Dealer.
Yes.
Right, and they took her car in part exchange, which was a great car, but it was worth nothing. I wish I'd have bought it now. It was 300 quid. But she got.
They gave you 300 quid for that car.
Yeah, and I wish they could have got it back. But anyway, that's by the by. So they took the car, and she had the new car, drove it around for about 2 days, and then I was driving it, and it went ding, transmission fault, with automatic transmission.
Yeah.
I said, all right, so I took it back to the garage. Oh yeah, there's a problem with it, we need to fix it. So my girlfriend wanted it fixing with a real professional on automatic gearboxes.
Yeah.
And they said $2.5 grand. So the garage, fair enough, who she bought it from, says, oh, well, we'll pay for that. Anyway, comes back, car was only 10,500 quid anyway.
Yeah.
I say only, that's a lot of money for her. And then they got into the automatic gearbox place, and this is going to be £4,500.
Right.
So the motor dealer who sold it has said, no, we're not going to do that. We'll give you all your money back, which they did. Right. But you can reset the gearbox.
Yeah.
But it will only last for a couple of days or whatever until you start putting your foot down. Right. And then you'll get the error again.
Yeah.
What will they do with that car? Will they put that up to auction again?
So this is a dealer that's got a car that they know is knackered.
Yeah.
They know the problem. They know how much it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is,
can they just what if they put it in auction?
Well, what they'll do is they will just wang that car straight into an auction and let somebody else deal with the problem. That's the sad reality of how dealerships work these days. So you bought a 10 grand car. 10 grand is not a lot of money in car terms these days, is it? As you're driving around, everybody's driving around in 30, 40, 50,000 pound cars. But for it to have lasted 2 days, shocking.
Shocking.
Considering you part exchanged a perfectly good car. And I think, if you don't mind me saying, when you said to them, can we have the car back? They said, we don't know where it's gone.
They don't know where it's gone. They don't know where her old car's gone. I've managed to find her a new one now, thanks to a guy in Mansfield. But it just makes me think, I mean, first of all, I said they'd been fair by giving her all her money back.
It was the right thing to do, because I don't think you wanted to get involved with trying to get it fixed.
Yeah.
If it's a dud car, give it back, get your money back. So it's good that you ended up with the money back and at square one. But obviously, that doesn't account for the time and the mental stress and the emotional stuff that was invested in
and
going
now
through
left
all that.
without a car.
Without a car.
With my children got no car. So I've had to go
of course,
out.
because you haven't got the new one yet, have you?
No.
So the old one's gone and they don't know where it is.
She hasn't got a car.
The not new one is broken and has gone, and now we're waiting for you to get her a third car.
Yeah, which now I've gone to a dealership.
Yeah.
Because you get a 3-year warranty with that,
Yeah.
and they'll cover it. So although dealerships are more money,
Yeah.
sometimes you are better off, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you agree with that.
Well, if you need to borrow a car, I've got a lovely 7 Series.
There you go, Sarah.
So what do you think of my £1,500 car?
I think, do you know what? 1,500 quid. It's less than a set of tyres for my Taycan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a few charges. So I think it's nice. What I would like to know is if a car could tell a story.
Oh, yeah.
Now that would be good.
That's the side of cars that absolutely fascinates me, and I've always been really interested in that. I love going through the history file of a car and trying to paint the picture on where it came from and what happened. And the brown Volvo that we saw in the unit, that was bought from a guy who owned it 25 years. And when I bought that car, his family got in touch and said, I'm so glad it's gone to a good home. It's he loved this car, and they sent me a load of photos, and I love it when that sort of stuff happens. So yeah, and cars do tell a story, and cars, they become part of your family, and that's why we remember the cars that our parents had when we were growing up, and we remember the cars that we aspired to have when we were younger. So when you were like 16, 17, you know, coming up to driving,
yeah,
what was the car that would have been on your wall? What was the one that you really wanted?
Ford Capri.
We need to do a video in a Capri then, don't we?
Yeah, a Ford Capri. I mean, if you ever got a Ford Capri, I'd be well jealous.
Okay, so here's a call out to my subscribers. If you've got a Capri, especially if it's a Brooklands, can you get in touch? So him and me, old Brillo pad head and I, and Baldy, can film a video in a Capri, because that'd be great.
Do you know what though? Whoever gets my Taycan, that's got a story behind it, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has got a story behind
I
it.
should sign the Macmaster underneath the bonnet.
It'd be really interesting as well to, you know, when you eventually part exchange that car or whatever happens to it, it'll be just really interesting to just keep a tab on where it goes.
I should put a little AirTag in the boot of it.
I think that would be genius. Yeah. So there we go. We'll AirTag the Taycan when it goes off.
Can you imagine though, somebody who gets it and you put the Macmaster and you just put the website underneath, the YouTube channel, and they're like, what? It's
Yeah. To be fair though, it ain't going to need any service history, is it? It's all online.
It's all online. We've said before, I think that's probably, well, no, I think it's definitely the most famous Porsche Taycan in the world.
Yeah, I agree. Cool, man. So you're off to Ipswich now. You've got to charge 4, 5, 6 times on your way down.
I've got to charge 4, 5, 6 times on my way down there, yeah. But this is a nice car. It's very nice.
So we will sort out our, I know we've been talking about it, we will do the Lake District Challenge.
Yeah, because
soon.
I want you to do the
Motor Museum
and
the Hard Not Pass.
And the Hard Not Pass, yeah.
I watched Harry Metcalf's video when he did that in a Morgan.
Yeah.
And that made me realise just how serious that pass actually is.
It's
Because he
really,
was saying you wouldn't have made it up in a front-wheel drive car on the day that he did it.
Yeah.
So that made me
mad.
think, okay.
And I think I'd struggle in my car because of how wide it is. That's why I said I don't think I'll attempt it, because the road's that narrow.
Yeah.
And you're stuffed, it'll just go over the edge.
Yeah. So suggestions in the comments as to what car you want to see used for the hard knot pass.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That'd be good.
Right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. And lots more videos coming out soon. Make sure you subscribe to old knobhead over here.
I'm not Brillo padded anymore.
No longer a Brillo pad head. Father Christmas. And if you're not subscribed to Geoff Buys Cars, make sure you are. And I'm going to carry on with my motorhome now.
Is there a toilet around here anywhere? Don't tell me the field.
There was one in the motorhome, but I've removed it. If you need a wee, it's in that corner over there. If you need a poo, you better hit the road.